And we're live for realsies this time, and I can see everyone's beautiful faces, except for producer Travis's, because his beautiful face is not here. So we're gonna pretend that first take never happened at all, and I should stop talking about it because it never happened. It never existed. We're gonna go around. We're gonna say who we are and who we're playing. I am Lindy, and I'll be playing Wendell Eustace Abernathy, Lucius Throckwaddle Hossenpfeffer the Fourth of the Havisham Hossenpfeffers. He's a nobleman, philanthropist, aspiring author, establisher of orphanages and soup kitchens, and possibly in the future, because we're in the past right now, so in the future, which it used to be the present, coin master of Iman? Who knows? We shall see what happens. But before that, we should go to Mr. Time Traveler, shipbuilder man himself, Harlan Flipcloak, D20 coup de grace. How are you tonight?
Yes, that is me. I will be playing Harlan Flipcloak tonight. He's a hobgoblin wizard and a diviner, and I kind of feel like I'm repeating time right now.
How weird. That's insane. Who would ever do such a thing? Someone who's never repeated time before, Shiny Pilot.
Never repeated time so far. There's always a chance,
Ooh. Yep.
We can see what happens. Tonight I'm playing Igor. He's a hunchback. He's a manservant butler to Wendell, and he is a half orc.
Yes.
I haven't played him in a while, and I'm excited to play him and pick up where we left off. So let's do this.
Let's do this indeed. Someone whose catchphrase that could be, except for in this instance, Nugatosaurus. May not have been a fan of the time travel.
No, definitely not a fan of the time travel. My name's Nugatosaurus. I'm playing Hal, the shifter fighter / paladin who wanted to fight God last time we played, and really wanted to bust down that celestial gate and just punch Bahamut in the face. And that's the mood we're in tonight as we head into Iman. So we'll see how Howell handles it. It's gonna be something.
Going to be something indeed. I would say something about Travis, but he's not here. Hopefully he will be back with us next week. So, going to be something indeed. Dungeon Master. How are you? Deception check.
I'm doing good. Dungeon Master deception check. Running our wonderful Mondays in Exandria, Wanderlust, and Wildemount. Need to say this starting now. I need to make sure. Disclaimer: this world is set in the world of Critical Role and Exandria and Tal'Dorei, but it's not associated in any way with the show Critical Role. Got that out of the way. Last week, our intrepid adventurers called the group had a bit of a crossroads. Harlan met himself, which is normally not something that physically happens, more of a metaphorical thing, but Harlan met an older version of himself who basically told them they lost. Avum had got what he needed, was being released, and they were pretty much goners. The world was done, and a single god would now walk around among the people of Exandria, and they would be part and parcel to his will. But future Harlan had a plan. He would ride the power that was needed to release Avum and give his old compadres a chance to escape at the cost of his own life. So, against the better judgment of Hal, the group rescued Lamont, jumped on the time ship, and after some creative use of lateral physical force, i.e. kicking it, the time machine made its way back to Amon exactly 1 year from that day, where they could find a man named Anaxes Zephyrs. A gnome named Anaxes Zephyrs, who also goes by the name of the cartographer. This gnome has the directions and the information needed so they could travel further back into the past, where they would find the machine that was created at that time to release Avon. And through that, hopefully, by destroying it or doing whatever they choose to do with the machine, stop his release in the future. So we meet our heroes today walking along the road from Harlan's technology shack, his barn outside of Amman.
It's just a farm.
It's just a farm.
Harlan's farm.
Just Harlan's donkey and farmer farm with a massive dirigible hiding barn on it.
Every farm needs a big barn, big red barn.
Yeah. Most impressive barn in the region.
That's 6 stories tall with a retractable roof, and
Every good farm needs a big red barn. Harlan
That's
just
true.
has the best
the biggest and the best
barn.
barn. Yes. The group is walking their way
His
back to
barn
town.
brings all the airships to the yard. His barn is better.
Damn
than
right.
yours.
His is better than yours.
Yes. Yes, please. Yes.
Hal is following behind because she broke the airship and in a fit of anger and a percentile dice roll of 0-1, which was beautiful, and is following at what was then, before it was cool, or the hipster version of social distancing, as they make their way back into Amman. So we're going to catch up with everyone on the road to Amman as they come to grips with the ramifications of what they're doing as they make their way in.
Let's see. If I was the cartographer, where would I be?
Where's the Grayskull Shadow? Here's rooms there.
I meant right now at this time.
Oh. I can't answer. I'm not a cartographer. I'm an aspiring author, yes, but cartographer, no. Different things. Maps and books.
If I was him, I believe I'd be feeding birds in the park.
Do you want to hit the park on the way?
No, I don't think we should bug him there.
Right. To the Grayskull Shadow, then?
Yes, the Grayskull Shadow.
Right.
Yes.
All right.
I'm sure he'll be making his return soon.
Hopefully. There we go.
As you guys make your way towards the outskirts of the Whitestone, the Whitestone slums, where you know that your inn is located near the entrance gate from that side, you start seeing more and more people along the road. Farmers bringing in farmers leaving because it's later in the day with empty carts and supplies for their farms. The road is a bit busy. You know, Whitestone slums are a busier, higher end area outside the walls of Amman. You pass the graveyard where you and your friend resurrected his dead wife.
Yeah.
Nicholas.
It's great.
Nikolai.
They're doing so well now.
Yes, doing very well. You pass by one of Wendell's orphanages.
Oh, good.
A lot of the
Got some
kids
orphans.
recognize your face from the many pamphlets that they're given each and every day.
Oh.
They
Most
wave.
of the pamphlets don't have his face. I will say that. It's just the symbol of the prism of power. Or the guiding lights to kitchen and orphanages. I've made logos for these.
Is there at least one painting of you looking imperious?
There's definitely a painting of him in the orphanage,
Okay.
though. I'll say that much. It's the painting. It's like in like the dining room above the where the head person would sit at the dining room table. It's just above them, so it looks down upon all of
over
them
the dinner table.
over while they eat. Yep.
They must thank they must thank wealth for the food that they're given each meal.
Thanks to wealth, we can eat.
Yes. So you find yourself outside of the Gray Skull Shadow Inn. It's named aptly because it is in the shadow of the Grey Skull Castle, which is the embassy for Whitestone and the city-state that it has become. It is a 4-story tavern built of stone and timber and slate, and is your home when in Amon, but hasn't been that way for some time, even though current time, most people had only been gone for about a year at that point. It looks like it's busy. Evening rush at the time as people weed their way in and out of the main doors.
How wonderful. The place is bustling.
Delightful. The private dining room should be prepared for us. I messaged Reagan ahead of time.
Good. Somewhere where we could get away from
Sneak on me. Sneak it.
all these people.
Okay, so you try and sneak into your
We're like, because we're not here. We're other places. So we're trying to be, on the DL while we're here. We're not making a big show of us being here. That's why we have the hoods and the cloaks.
Hal doesn't.
Except for Hal.
Yep, right.
Everyone
she
else has hoods up.
She has no pretenses. If we get to the Grey Skull Shadow, she will just walk in and plop down right at the bar. She doesn't bother going to the private room.
Okay.
Doesn't say a word to anybody unless Roger is behind the bar.
It's probably a little early for his shift yet, but
Okay.
he'll probably show up in a little while. Roger Roger, by the way.
Yes.
It's Roger.
Yeah, it's Roger.
Wendell
so
will telepathically just message Harlan, for someone who was so concerned about fucking with time. They seem very unconcerned about fucking with it now that they're back in time. That's all. He just a comment, just as we're walking into the dining hall.
I think it would cause more of an issue if I tried to talk to her.
I agree, which is why I'm just making a remark. That way, it can at least be said that I said something.
Okay.
Or
You
make your way
understand.
in. You make your way in. You see behind the bar the normal daytime bartender, Owen Neal, 40-something dark-haired human, male, just working his way around the bar. He nods in the direction of the cloaked people coming in and heading directly to the private dining area. Reagan steps up. Reagan, your
Yes.
servant, concierge of the Grey Skull Shadow Inn, who makes sure everything gets done for you.
Reagan's so great.
He steps up and everything. I'm sorry that's a Oh, I'm sorry. You're incognito. Oh, of course. Yes. The private dining room has been set aside for our esteemed new guest that I do not know.
Reagan, that's wonderful.
He leans over. He's like, "Is Mistress Howe not participating in the subterfuge?"
She's a little angry at Harlan at the moment. I wouldn't push any
So
of her
stay away
buttons.
from. Yes. Okay. I will just wave and hide.
Maybe if you could get Roger on shift a little earlier this evening.
He
He seems to have a way of calming her down somehow, and I don't understand.
Must be all the milk.
I
no,
think
that's Lamont
that's-
that gets the milk.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
He just has a way with words or something.
But please.
Thank you.
Where did Lamont go?
You don't see him.
Of course he's not here.
Yeah.
Well,
you don't
if
see
this
him.
is a year ago, he might be dead. So he might be all right to run around the city.
What?
We'll see.
Reagan's like, what? He's dead? What?
No,
I'm sorry.
no. It's just a joke we came up with on the way. He was just dead tired from traveling. You know how he likes to sleep in alleyways and
droll.
such. You know. Ha ha ha.
I mean, the rumors.
Let's just goes inside.
He shuts the door behind. You see that there's steaming plates of food. The entire table is covered with all the best that the Grey Skull has to offer. Each one of your favorites. If you have a particular favorite, you can name it. It's there on the table.
Food.
Wine
yes.
and wine. A good
Food and wine. And it is a Haas and Pfeffer wine.
Ah,
Fresh, uncooked potato.
Yes, there is just a bag of potatoes next to your normal chair, Harlan. And Igor, there is a 3-tiered plate sitting in front of yours. Each
It's one
one
of those little
stacked
cupcake
with
stands, but just with
Oh.
food.
Just food.
That would be
Yes.
amazing. Like, if that's the norm for Igor, yes, I'm about that.
Yes, when Igor returns, that is how they treat Igor on his, because Igor is an owner and the employees know him as an owner, yet he acts as an employee, and so they treat him as such.
I'm just, employee of the month. Many times over.
So you all sit down inside the private dining area, which is adorned with paintings that Hal had commissioned. Actually, they're not done yet, so they aren't there yet. So
yeah, it's
you
just the dragon
you look
head.
to where they would be, and they aren't hanging there yet. Just a single stuffed taxidermied head of the wormling
Of the
that you
wormling.
fought in the sewers.
That was an intense, level 2 battle. So
It was a very tough level 2 battle. Level 3 maybe, I don't know,
yeah, it
somewhere
was
around
very
there.
early levels.
You were very proud of that little worm's
We
head.
were.
So he's still stuffed up there. But outside, after the door closes,
I'd like to think eventually maybe we can get one of each size and we just work our way up in tiers. like a
where you start with
totem
dueling
pole.
ones, like 2 wormlings, then 2 little,
Yeah.
and you work your way into like an ancient up against the wall, which would take up the entire wall. Most
maybe
of-
not
yeah, I
an
don't know.
ancient, yeah. Just
Yeah,
a
I
big
don't think that
scale
would
for
fit.
one of those, like a shield on the wall.
Yeah, I had to put that one outside maybe. I don't know that it should fit inside, but
No, we'll just make a new inn out of an ancient.
oh, yeah.
Or a
Called the Dead Dragon's Inn.
The
And just,
dead dragon in.
yeah.
it just slides up next to ours.
Outside at the bar, Hal, you just sat down. Owen walks up, just kind of puts your normal drink in front of you.
So Hal likes piss poor ale, but I imagine that the Grayskull Shadow doesn't serve piss poor ale, so it's
Or they'd
the
have
lowest
one
shelf.
on tap just for you,
Yeah,
one.
it's like
one,
Hal's private
small keg.
reserve.
Yeah.
They have a keg in the back that they tap just for you of
Yeah.
just terrible. Because the worst thing that the Grayskull serves is 10 times better than anything you like to drink.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So he taps it, pulls out, just brings a pitcher and a big tankard for you.
Yeah. And she just
Food.
drinks.
Food.
No, not hungry.
All right. Good to see you back.
Yeah.
He goes about, Owen doesn't talk a lot really. That's why he's day bar. He just cleans and
Right.
serves.
Hal
So-
appreciates it in the moment.
Right. Okay. The noise of the bar or the tavern area is kind of loud, as it would normally be.
Would Hal know where her kids are on this day?
It's been some time, so you may not know specifically. You imagine that you would know. You know that your son would not be there
Right.
because he's working on the ship.
Right.
Jenny might be in town,
Okay.
and
Olivia's
Olivia.
at the college.
Yeah, she's working her job and going to school as well.
Right. Okay. Hal will drink her piss poor ale, and then she's going to go upstairs, change into civilian clothes, just whatever her casual clothes are.
Okay.
And then she's gonna go see if she can find one of her daughters, whichever one she finds first.
As you go up the stairs, the big hulking half orc Shabaka, the day guard, just stands up in front. Hey, can't go up. Oh, hey, little girl, you're here.
Yeah,
How's it going?
it's going.
Wow, you look just as happy as every time I see you.
Yep. Life's a fucking blast.
It's been kind of boring around here now that we're all straight and good and whatnot. I used to get extra jobs. Now I'm actually just paid well to sit here. You got anything I could do? Crack a few skulls, twist an
Yeah,
arm or two?
actually, I do have something you can do.
Oh, that you're speaking my language. Come on, what do you need? Who do you need killed?
I don't necessarily need anybody killed at this particular moment. maybe in the future.
All right. All right.
But you heard these rumors that Lamont's dead?
Yeah. Heard some things about that. I can't countenance really. No one's seen him, but then again, there's still rumors of some dark shadow saving people and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah. You're good at knocking skulls and getting information, right?
Yeah. Sure. You want me to? I mean, as soon as Artie gets in here, you want me to?
Yeah. Go fuck up his day. Go fuck up that shadow's day.
Okay.
Figure out what you can. Find out if Lamont's really dead.
All right. May
And
take
just-
a little bit, but
Just
I'll go.
make things miserable for him.
If he's dead, I'm supposed to make it miserable for him?
Yeah. Whatever you interpret that as.
All right. Never robbed a grave before, but hey, first time for everything. This should be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, if he is dead. If he's not dead, I can make him dead for you and then rob his grave if you really want me to.
No, I don't think I want you. I don't want you to make him dead because that caused a lot of issues.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
beggars can't be choosers.
Just let me know.
Should I clock in for this or?
Oh yeah, you'll be paid for this, of course.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Just let me
Great.
know what the hour difference is, and I'll have Reagan take care of it.
Cool. He's like the man now, right? Like Reagan is
Reagan?
like.
Oh yeah.
Ah.
He runs this fucking place.
What up,
We're
Barton?
just kind of here.
I thought Barton ran the place.
Yeah, Barton runs the books.
Oh, I see.
And
But
technically he's the boss, but Reagan's the boss. Let's be
yeah.
honest.
Well, I mean, he's he's one of us. So
Yeah,
he came up
yeah.
through the same slums we all did. So
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. Barton's
More-
always been uppity, he
Yeah,
came
more
from
respect
uppity
for
to the
Reagan
wall.
than Barton.
Cool. All right. He cracks his knuckles and they like echo. They're just big
Yeah.
meat hits and cracks and it echoes through the room. This will be fun. I'm glad you're back.
I'm glad to be back.
All right.
She just shakes her head a little bit, like that was obviously a lie. but-
And he like punches you in the shoulder like good naturedly, and it kind of
Yeah.
spins you around a little bit because he's just 20 straight.
Stumbles back. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to catch you off guard like that.
No,
I'm just
you're
happy
fine.
to have something to do.
Yeah. You can, you're always welcome to take like extra jobs with the class, but you just can't tie it back to the shadow.
I'm kind of hard to miss though.
That's fair. But I mean, I can set you up with my underground contacts for the fighting ring. If you want to do some of that.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
I heard about you in the ring, like around. Okay, cool. Oh, we'll talk about it later. You look like you got something to do. So,
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
just
I'll
gonna-
get you the details. It'll be fine.
all right. Yeah, I just got to go back to sitting in my chair and looking menacing.
All right.
I'm good at that.
She like as he sits down because she like I imagine she can't reach his shoulder when he's standing up.
No, he's
Yeah.
a big guy.
Yes, like as he sits down, she like pats his shoulder and then heads up to her room.
All right. Okay, so you're able to change your clothing and you head out to go what you're going to do. We're going to go back downstairs to the private dining area and see what's going on there. Wendell, Igor, Harlan and his raw potato and everybody else eating real food.
Look, it's Harlan's
I mean-
favorite. We're not going to judge him for it. He wants to eat
I
raw
mean-
potatoes. He can eat raw
Yeah.
potatoes.
That's to say, Igor loves all kinds of food stuff. Potatoes is his jam. I mean, personally, I'm just like, ugh, but if we're eating it raw, don't get me wrong, I love potatoes.
All the nutrients a growing hobgoblin needs.
Well, I hear all the nutrients are rot in the skin. It's pitiful for you. I think Igor would just be enjoying his multi-tiered plate, and by then he'd probably be done with it and looking to get another one. But he would probably try to stand up himself and take the 3-tiered plate to the kitchen and see if anybody else needs anything, and start slowly transitioning back into not being guest and into being butler because he's not quite sure how to behave.
There you go. It would be best if you let the other servants take
Over.
the trays for the time being.
Why would that be, monster?
We were trying to... It just looks at Igor like, how do I even phrase this for you?
You're trying to take me away from my only job. No, I'm kidding.
No. So Igor, you know we went back in time, right?
We're back.
That's what we did on Harlan's airship with the strange sensations and the... Oh god. Right.
Yes. We're at a previous point in existence.
We are a year
So,
in the
does that-
past.
Does that mean I'm now younger?
No.
No.
No. It means that you are in Butler finishing school right now. But
But I'm here with you.
yes, because we are a year in the past, and just because we traveled back in time does not mean that we were pulled out of time. Like, you didn't just stop going to Butler school and then appear here. Oh god,
the clogs are
see?
turning.
Alright,
Igor's not getting any of this.
Okay. Here, he takes, like, a napkin. He goes, this is a timeline, and he lays it out. And, like, rolls it up and lays it out. This fork is this fork is you. You went
Okay.
to Butler school here. He takes one fork, and then you also just carried on, and this was earlier today. This end of the rope here, this is earlier today when we went on Harlan's airship, right? So, a year ago, at this fork, we were in Butler finishing school, and this is a year later on the airship. Yeah, and he's like, I think he's a spoon for that.
If it's a year later, wouldn't I be tarnished? Because I'm a fork.
Yes, well, and not if you've been polishing it well, because you learned how to do that in Butler finishing school, right?
Well, yeah, but you're saying that
Yes, it's been a year, right? You went to Butler finishing school a year ago. And you learned how to
Right.
polish things so that they don't tarnish. That's why none of this is tarnished. Now, we went on Harlan's airship, and he gets a cup. He puts the fork in the cup. Like the second fork in the cup.
oh, the cup is the ship.
The cup is the ship. And the ship, airships normally go from place to place. Harlan's airship can go place to place, but it can also go from time to time. And so we went from here, clunk, all the way back to here. So you're currently here in the airship, but you're also attending Butler school at this very moment.
How am I attending Butler school if I'm here with you?
Because there's two of you, Igor. Because there's the past you and the current you.
What?
See? The fork and the spoon. There's two of you.
Simplified, but near correct.
But if there's two of me, could I meet me and see if it truly is me? Or if
Yes,
it's just like
but
a
that
copy?
would be bad, Igor.
Why would it be bad for me to meet myself?
Because aside from the effect I think it would have on your brain, it
Or
might...
it would be like brothers, it'd be fine.
Oh, well, it might be fine, but also, you don't want to influence your previous self, because your previous self is what made you who you are today, right?
But I could tell him all the things to avoid. I could tell him all the things to do.
But
I
then
could tell him how to
but-
pass that test.
You passed your tests, Igor. I
But I
got your
could make him
grades.
do it back then.
Yes, but then you wouldn't have really worked all that hard and earned it, would you have? You would have just been told how to do it.
How would that have?
You'd be a different person today if you affect your past self. What we're trying to do is not affect us in the past, it's affect someone else so that they don't unleash the evil orb of evil and the whirlwind.
But if we affect that other person,
It won't
In
affect
the know.
us because we're trying not to affect ourselves. The only thing we're trying to affect is not having the end of the world by affecting a different person who starts the cause of that by the discoveries.
You hear a knock at the door?
oh,
Yes.
I'll get it,
No,
Marston.
yes, Igor, just pretend you're a regular butler doing your everyday things.
Okay, I'll get the door open.
Yes, and I just I just scatter the timeline with the phone. I just go.
Igor looks at it dejectedly, like, "Oh, now I gotta clean it up." But anyways, he'll go get the.
But he's like, I don't want anyone to be like, "That's a weird art presentation you're doing there with the cups." Yeah, that's all.
You open the door and Reagan's sitting there. I'm sorry to disturb. I want to give you an update on your
please.
guest.
Yes.
Oh, hello, Reagan.
Oh, hello, Igor. How are you?
I'm good.
Excellent, excellent. Are you taking time off? We don't want you working. You're
Yes,
our
he's
guest.
taking time off. He's only working with me. Okay.
Right, you're a guest of the Grayskull Shadow.
Guesting, yes.
Okay, I see the smoke this time. We'll continue on.
We
yes.
just went through some explanations of things. So.
Of course. Is Howlin' Lamont coming? I saw her go upstairs and then she left.
She left.
Where would she have gone?
I don't know. I can imagine what Lamont might be up to, but I don't think we'll be seeing either of them in the near future. That's fine. We can't control them. Or influence them, mostly.
That's fair. I was just going to inform them as well, since I work for all of you.
I can relay a message should it be necessary.
Of course. Well, I have spoken with one of the associates of the cartographer, a Mary Graymalkin. Yes, actually, quite a few associates. Very strange.
Really?
Associates, yes.
How so?
Mary's the most normal of them that I've met in his time here. Well, one of them is a walking box. Wait, no, he's a coffin with legs.
All right.
I'm sorry, that's not even a good description. He is a chained coffin with legs.
After seeing some of Nikolai's work, I'm not too shocked, but
it's quite strange, but quite interesting once you get used to it. It doesn't come around the bars often because doesn't get inside as easily.
Yes, I imagine it to turn sideways and then shuffle in.
It's quite no. Well, it's more like the legs are a tripod and they're based in the center, and it kind of like move. Yeah, it's very. It's like a table got up and walked away, but it was a coffin.
Interesting. Yes.
And then there's actually literally a little ball thing. It's a creature, but yes.
Moldron.
I think that's what he said it was. And then there's also a normal tiefling like myself. He's more pink than red, but I don't hold that against him. But Mary seems to be the most normal of them all. She's an elf. Might be. I'm not sure what type. Her skin tone changes with her moods.
Interesting.
But beyond that, she's quite pleasant. If a little boring.
All right.
Sorry, I kind of got off. She mentioned that the cartographer would love to have dinner with you.
Oh,
this
wonderful.
Evening, and should be arriving sometime in the next hour, if possible. His factors will be out, so he'll be on his own at the moment. But he's excited to meet you all as the owners of the Grayskull, and was thankful for having his rooms comped.
Well, wonderful. Thank you very much, Reagan.
Was there anything else?
I still want to say, Reagan, can we get the room key to his room and try to shuffle through his books? But I don't think we're that desperate yet. So, I guess, no, I think that'll be all for now, unless anyone had any. Igor, did you need a snack?
I was just gonna see if I could meet Reagan number 2.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, it was hard to hear you.
I was trying to see if I could meet maybe the second Reagan number 2.
There is no Reagan number 2, Igor. Let me explain some more.
Of course. I'll bring another plate of food for him. He seems like
Thank
he
you.
might be a little peaked. Not
Yes.
had enough.
Brain food, please. Like walnuts and the like.
Master Flip Cloak, were your raw potatoes to your liking?
They are quite fine. He puts them down. Although, if we're going to be eating dinner, I should probably stop myself.
Yes, that would probably be wise. All right, I'll see myself out now. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
You know how to
Reagan.
contact me if you need
Yes.
anything. I let Barden know you were here. He said the books are up to date and they're available to you in his office if you want them, but he's going home early today.
All right, that's fine. Thank you.
You're welcome. And he steps out.
All right, Igor. Let me explain some things to you.
And as you go to explain that to
And I go,
Igor,
was Reagan on the airship? No, then there's no Reagan number 2.
Yeah.
Only the people who were on the airship. He puts all the utensils in the cup. This was Hal.
Yeah, Igor's
This one's
Igor's
this
trying to
knife, it's
understand.
Hal. Yeah.
Here, let me try. Every time you take a breath, you create a new infinity, and then we'll just cut from there.
Oh, good lord.
right?
And-
You
and
say
Wendell
that,
just
you
goes
see him
pale.
starting to go into it more, and then we cut across town to Hal on the streets, walking in some direction. Where are you going, Hal?
So the Gray Skull Shadow, is it closer to Olivia's college or Jenny's temple?
It is about as far as you can be from Jenny's temple and be in the same city. But Olivia's place is much closer.
Okay, then I will head towards the college.
Okay. You'll head into the main gate right just north of the Gray Skull Shadow Inn,
Mhm.
and that takes you into the Abdar's Promenade district. You know that her school is just through the nearby gate, going more to the Mage Quarter.
Okay. I'll head that way.
Okay.
This is a year ago, so this is after the events of campaign or season 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The first campaign
Um,
is over. It's been about a year since the dragon incident and clearing things up with the class.
Okay.
But you know they're still somewhat antagonistic.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I want to keep I'm not like actively searching, but I just want to kind of keep an eye out for any thieves' cant I see. And I want to see if there's any hints of myriad thieves' cant here, if they have been totally pushed out or if they're still trying to get some kind of foothold here.
Okay. Give me a perception or an investigation roll, whichever one you feel best at.
You know, it would help if I actually had my dice out. Hold on.
I had forgotten mine until just a moment ago as well. It's been some time since we played, so
Yeah. There's a cat on my desk, so this will be interesting.
there's a cat behind you as well.
Yeah.
Perfectly
Hey.
framed.
I got
Right over your
Houdini in
shoulder.
front of me and Nugget over on the side. That's a 3 for a total of. God, I don't have anything up.
For a total of 90.
For a total of 7.
Total of 7. All right. Well, the DC I rolled for that particular one was going to be a 13. So you don't notice anything that stands out
Okay.
to you. You
That's
see
fair.
the normal, you see the second story marks for people that work certain areas. You see, safe house. You see a few
Yeah.
things like that that are obvious,
Okay.
but nothing that stands out towards myriad activity or the clasp's activity towards the myriad.
Right. Okay. All right. Then she'll just continue on to the college and she'll pick up are there like street vendors around? Like
Always.
food?
Especially in Abdar's Promenade, there's
Okay.
always someone around selling something.
She'll pick up I'm assuming she knows like what Olivia's favorite street food is.
Sure. She's your daughter.
Yeah, she'll pick up a portion for herself and a portion for Olivia.
Okay.
And
What do you think
then-
that street food is?
That's a good question. I imagine it's like, is it Korean? There's a street food that's like an egg sandwich kind of thing.
Okay.
I imagine I don't know the name of it, but it's like an egg sandwich with like really thick fluffy bread, and Olivia's has like a bunch of veggies and no meat no animal product aside from the egg. And then Howell's has just every meat flavor they have, every kind of meat.
Okay. All right.
And she'll grab that and pay whatever and tip outrageously,
Okay.
and then head to the college.
The vendor is quite happy with the tip and provides you with a couple extra helpings.
Okay.
On both. So they're a little overflowing, kind of hard to carry, but
yeah,
they're good. You catch Olivia just as she's stepping outside of one of the buildings that are associated with the university that she studies at.
Okay.
And she catches you out of the corner of your eye, and she kind of waves, surprised to see you.
Hey, kid.
Hey, what are you? I thought you were overseas.
Yeah, I had to come back for some emergency meeting at this shadow. Something happened. I don't know. I let
Everything
Wendell.
Okay?
Yeah, it's fine. I let Wendell deal with that shit, and I figured I'd surprise you with dinner. You hungry?
Oh, I smell it already. You always know my favorite.
Yeah. It's 10 years, kid.
I'll pass
I
it
know
over.
you like the back of my hand.
But-
There you go.
Yeah, I probably know me better than the back of your hand.
Yeah, probably.
I know the back of your hand better. You slim.
Yeah. I've never hit you. Shut up.
I know. But I like to get people think you're terrible, and I like to play up to it.
Yeah. All right, come on.
Woe
let's
is
go.
me. My mom is so terrible.
Yeah.
Although I
let's
was really serious
sit
when I
and
said
eat.
my mom will beat your mom. So
Yeah, that's very true. Absolutely. Come on, let's sit over here.
okay.
And I imagine there's like a bench or something in
Yeah, I mean,
like
you're
a
on
college campus. Yeah.
It's not so much a college campus, but they try and keep it nice in the area because the students are moving around. So there are a few like little groves of like little stands of trees with park benches around it, and students studying there.
Yeah. And she'll sit down, and she just wants to sit and talk and catch up with her daughter that she hasn't seen in a very long time,
Mm-hmm.
both in this time frame and her own timeline.
Okay.
And she's just gonna hang out and
Okay.
check in. Yeah.
And you have a wonderful afternoon doing that. Let's head back into the Gray Skull. And it's been about an hour now when there's another knock. I'm sorry, Harlan?
Can't explain this to Igor. I'm sorry.
Is it like just drool rolling out of Igor's mouth now?
I was to say he'd be rubbing his temple, the veins would be popping, some drool. I'd be like,
I'm sorry, Igor. I just can't help you with this. Just believe me. Don't run into your old self.
Hear another knock at the door.
Yes, please. Just your regular, normal butler, Igor. Please come in.
Reagan opens the door.
Butler.
I'd like to introduce you as the owners of the Grayskull Shadow Inn to Master Zephyrs, also known as the Cartographer. And you see a taller gnome, meaning he's about 3 foot tall. Dark hair, kind of pulled back with gray streaks along the side of his temples. He's dressed quite properly and prim. Ruddy skin, seems like he's outside a lot, traveling and whatnot. And he looks a little apprehensive as he walks in. He carries a pack over his shoulder, kind of like a messenger bag that's overstuffed with things. Yes, hello.
Oh.
I'm the cartographer. You are the owners of this establishment?
Yes, wonderful to meet you. I'm Wendell. He's like, let me just say Wendell. Just be friendly.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, Wendell.
Anaxi is my first name. I prefer the cartographer, though, if you wouldn't mind.
Mr.
I've earned that title. Some years. Do you mind if I sit and we'll continue the
Please.
introductions?
Yes, dinner shall be ready shortly as well.
Well, it looks like you all have been already eating before
Oh,
me.
just a little bit of, pre-meal appetizers. My butler here has a ravaged appetite.
I eat a lot.
Of course you do. Yes.
Imagine
Yes.
just Igor's like so much taller. He's like, oh, eat a lot.
As he goes to move towards one of the seats, Reagan comes in with a gnome booster seat.
Booster seat, yeah.
Yeah, a gnome booster seat. They have several of them. They're
Or
very nice.
like a gnome
well
high
done.
chair. Like it's like the same regular chair, but it's just swap out a chair, so he just has to like.
But the high
have a
chair
couple
looks. Yeah,
steps.
but the booster seat actually fits into these chairs. It's designed
Okay,
specifically
okay.
kind of like snap in.
Sure.
So it's
Yes.
and he climbs up and sits down. It seems you all have already had quite a meal. I mean, a pre-meal snack. Is that 7 plates? Wow.
My companions get quite hungry.
That's fine. Well, I want to thank you all for comping my rooms for me. It was unnecessary, but it's worth at least a meal and meat. I take it there's some business or questions you have for me.
Oh,
Yes.
well, you're the cartographer. Your time is valuable, and we wish to speak with you about many subjects and things. I heard rumors
Of
that
course.
you're recruiting people for a project.
But I have been interviewing several groups about a pet project of mine into the Ashkeeper Peaks. But I was wondering how you heard about it. It's not something I've told many about.
Oh, well, I
He
have
looks very apprehensive at this.
Mm.
certain associates who have mentioned it might be something of interest to us.
Why, might I ask? Would
Oh,
it be
we just
interesting?
Love, well, time. Machinery.
You have no idea what this expedition's about, do you?
You're looking for a city?
Oh, do you know the name of the city?
Yes, but we don't have it written in the journals.
Corlanthri. Yes, you are familiar. The last city to fall from the great calamity after the Age of Arcanum. It was where a great wizard, some say was associated with one of the fallen dark gods, but supposedly he has a great laboratory there with wonders that even today would seem magical in their own creation, something that you would probably never understand or expect to have been built. So much was lost on the Age of Arcana. You see him just getting really kind of worked up.
Yes. Yes, Wendell's
it's
just
a-
nodding sympathetically. Yeah, yes.
It's a place that so many have tried to find, and none have come back from what I understand.
Well, if there's anything that group is good at, I'll slide across a business card.
He takes it and he's like,
We
It's-
specialize at
It's
coming
in
back.
coming back from things and making it through.
that group is really your name.
Wonderful
My name's
acronym.
Igor, and this is Wendell. That's
Hey.
Martin. And
We are also very interested in finding this city.
Could I ask why you're so interested in finding
I mean,
Corlanthri?
as you said, many wonders from the Age of Arcanum. I mean, what person who's interested in mechanics, machinery, artificery, and alchemy wouldn't want to explore and find such a place?
So you're treasure seekers.
Oh, well, there's one of us that's more interested in the artificery. I'm more interested in the history of things.
Oh, a seeker of knowledge.
Yes.
Ah.
One might.
well.
And, Wendell's been chatting with, that bookstore keeper a lot.
Mhm.
Can I think of any tomes about that? Like, can I recall a title about one of the tomes from? Because we asked him to look into that time period and got some books. Is there a book title I can think of quoting at the moment that has to do with the Age of Arcanum? For that city, perhaps?
Well, there's several books that you probably would have talked with that particular shopkeeper about. Nothing from the Age of Arcanum.
No,
because
but
very little.
about the Age of Arcanum.
Sure, you could probably find. There's probably
Yes.
something
Yes,
there. That,
the collective works of Fizzleback,
oh,
Yes,
I've enjoyed
the
his
Age of
work.
Arcanum.
I have a first edition of his books,
Oh, goodness.
handwritten notes inside.
I was
Some
only
of the
able to
things
read
he's-
a second edition myself.
No, it's the smell of. It was only a few hundred years after the fall, after people started coming back from that dark time, that he wrote. Fizzleback wrote these, but even then he spoke only in hushed terms, vaguely about Quelanthri. It was quite a powerful city in its own right. The last to fall, somehow lost time. Lots of the world was changed during that time, as you know.
Yes, yes.
Mountain ranges risen, cities and land
failed.
sunk,
Yes.
places just gone.
So fascinating and intriguing. I mean, imagine the knowledge we could discover if such a place were discovered.
The danger,
History.
though, it's a dark city.
Yeah,
It
that is why
disappeared because
one
it
must
was
always
lost.
pursue knowledge with caution.
And travel with protection.
Yes. It helps to have friends who are good with a sword.
Well,
magic.
that is true. Even the last known group to make it to Quelanthri, it was well. I mean, I have the journal of Brahmsandi's trip to Quelanthri. He was the last high priest of a god they don't name for some reason.
Wendell's thinking evil orb of evil.
Everyone in his expedition disappeared or died horribly. The journal was, well, it was of an ancestor of mine who traveled with Brahmsandi. He died writing out the last pages as this high priest traveled into the last city. He was left there, supposedly, I guess. He wrote it that way. Maybe he just spiteful in his old age, or as he died, he wanted to, say something bad about the leader of his expedition, but
Do you wish to complete his works? Why do you seek the city?
well, for me, it's if we can travel, well, not me, because I don't do expeditions myself. I don't mind telling you, I had a really tough time with a bag of holding someone put into a portable hole.
Oh,
I was
no.
a little too close to that.
Oh,
and
good heavens. It's a miracle you survived.
my ears still ring to this day, and I refuse to travel with adventurers from now on because I just can't. Look, don't take this the wrong way. Most adventurers are lacking in the intellectual department.
I understand.
I totally understand.
Oh.
He looks knowingly at Igor.
Uh-huh. Yes. It's one of those things where I wasn't initially an adventurer myself. I really only take select works group does. But sometimes if you want the job done properly, one must do the job themselves or use their brains.
I imagine. I'm surprised that you would be willing to put yourself in danger like this because you have such a wonderful establishment. It seems to be doing good business. It's well spoken of around the region. I don't understand.
Group has multiple interests.
Yes.
Multifaceted.
Yes, and there are people who... The inn is fairly self-sufficient. We have established a system that can maintain itself for months at a time without our input. Years, perhaps even. And... Well, I mean, it's just such a marvelous historical thing here, and it's... we've thought about it, reading the the collected works of Fizzleback stuff. It's always something that's piqued my interest, and, my fellow associate here is also interested in knowledge from that time period. And so when we caught wind that someone was running an expedition, well, it's not exactly something an opportunity we could let slip through our fingers.
See him, really trying to pay attention, he's trying to get a good read on all of you. Yes, completely buys the halo. You asked why I'm so interested in this myself. I like to hope that if whoever finds the hidden city of Quillanthri, that perhaps they would bring back the bones of my ancestor, so I might give him the burial that he never received.
Properly deserved, yes.
It's really just it was a completion of their work. I at my age, the expeditions that I've helped start and finish, people I've sent on their ways to do certain things, it's all been successful. One thing that has constantly eluded me is this. I've sent many expeditions out for Quillanthri, and none have been successful. I have a meeting now with an organization that supposedly has a great reach. I'm to meet with them in the next couple days. They're a council of something. I'm not sure exactly, but
it wasn't the Clockwork Council, was it?
That might be it.
Ooh,
I thought it was really interesting because I have a clockwork companion.
Yes,
it's quite fun. Oh, and I also have Stenmir's a special case. He's in a box.
I heard something about that. It sounded like a fascinating compatriot.
He's a vampire, and as part of his punishment, they stuffed him in the box. Actually, this is a contraption made by Bronsamdi, and it's one of his earlier works. And this vampire has been trapped in until he can prove to not be a danger to others. Somehow the coffin will let him out then.
Interesting.
But he's still an asshole, so he's stuck inside.
Well,
but he works with me because he thinks if he can find his way to Quillanthri, he'll find the way out of it. So
that's
it's fun.
How fun.
He's useful. Evil as anything. I mean, good Lord. I'm glad he's in the box. Let me just tell you. But as a resource of knowledge, he's been around for a very long time. It's quite helpful. Yes.
Interesting. I imagine he would be.
But my clockwork companion's name is Gearbox.
Gearbox, how cute.
He's a monodrone Modron.
Oh.
I believe that's his name. He's an agent of Moradin, really, but I find him useful.
Just writing your things down.
You look like you want to ask me a question, then. Your name was, I don't think you were introduced. He's looking at you, Harlan.
Oh, I apologize. Harlan Flipcloak.
Oh.
And I do have a few questions.
Were you related to that That hobgoblin prince that was killed not too long ago. I do some work down there and run some expeditions, and I have a decent relationship with the Iron Authority. And there was a real big stink down there.
Well, I had heard of that news myself, but I was way far away from any assassination.
Sorry, it's just Harlan. I love him.
Sorry, it's just sorry. I just thought I'd ask.
Oh yes, no, that's fine. That's just, it is a touchy subject. We don't like to talk about those type of things, you know.
Oh, of course. And as you get to know him a bit more, and he tells you more of his exploits, and you seem like he's getting more comfortable with you. Let's check in with Howell. Howell, it's been several hours. You've had a nice time.
Imagine dinner is served at that point. We're like, oh, good dinner. We eat more food.
He keeps talking through dinner. Doesn't eat much. What do you do now? Do you head back to the inn? What do you do?
Does Olivia have any plans for the evening?
Actually, matter of fact, she did have some plans. She has a date this evening with an eligible suitor she met in college. He's an up-and-coming wizard, Mom.
Since when did you start dating?
I'm 22.
Yeah, and you're in college. You should be focusing on college.
Look, if I can get my degree and a payday, it's well worth it, Mom. He's rich.
Yeah.
Look,
you're an extremely competent young woman, and don't tell your siblings I said this, but you are the smartest one of the bunch.
Oh, they know it. I tell them all the time.
I know you do. Just I understand.
Look, we all know Mo has 2 letters in his name because that's as far as he could go.
Yeah.
All right, and Jenny just likes punching his like she takes after you. She was the youngest. You had the most effect on her.
Yeah.
Really.
All I'm saying is, if you're worried about money, I've got you covered.
No,
don't get married
Mom,
just for the payday. Like, I mean, you know me and Nezrin. You deserve to marry for love, Olivia.
You raised us to be self-sufficient. If
I
I have to come to you for money, I fail. Okay, you help me out enough. I'm doing things on my own. I know I can. It doesn't mean I need to.
I get it. You know, I just worry.
Look, I'm not going to marry him without your blessing. So that means you get to kick his ass at some point.
Oh, all right.
See,
I'm okay with that.
I do. You see, yeah. See, and if he can't stand up to you, he's not worth me.
Yeah, if he's got no backbone, you don't need him.
I'd run all over him. That wouldn't be fun.
Yeah, where's the fun in that?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, go.
We're just going to see a play. That's all it is.
Have fun. You know, enjoy.
Okay. I mean, you're in town for a couple days, right?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure how long we'll be here, but
okay.
I've got to get back to my stuff overseas, you know. But
yeah, no, that's fine.
But if I am here, just stop by the Gray Skull and ask for us, and Reagan will be able to tell you.
And she gives you a big hug when you get up, and aha, natural 20. She gives you a big hug, and then she kind of pushes you away, puts her hands on your shoulders, and looks at you like really closely.
Oh, no. Okay. How just like raises an eyebrow, like, everything okay? You good?
And, Mom?
Yeah.
Why do you have a glow of magic about you?
Okay. Does Hal think? I don't know. I mean, I'm Hal.
Is it Bahamut or time
yeah?
travel?
Does she think that Olivia is picking up on her paladin vibes or the time travel vibes?
You're not sure.
Because
you know that your daughter
is
training to be a wizard. and that she is quite
Arcane
capable.
stuff. Yeah.
You don't know what discipline she's been working
That's true.
towards.
Yeah.
And so,
But I think Hal knows the difference between like arcane magic and religious magic. So I think
she probably does as well.
so I think she's probably picking up on the arcane stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Hal just kind of some stuff's happening that I was not really given very much of a choice in the matter. So we're dealing with some unnatural things.
What do you mean by unnatural?
I don't think Hal gives a fuck enough to not tell her. So
Okay.
she'll just come right out and she's like, we traveled back in time.
That's
so
what it is.
Yeah, so I'm future.
I've been studying
yeah.
divination magics, and that's what.
God damn it.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. I felt something like that in school, and
Yeah.
it reminded me a lot of your friend Harlan.
Yeah, well,
He
this
radiates
is,
that same feeling a lot.
This is his fault. So
Oh,
yeah.
but why would you go back in time? Was it an accident?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, so that's like the coolest thing ever. Can I help?
Yeah.
I've got my first cantrips down, and I can do a couple spells now. I can do this one where I throw missiles at things. Like I get 3 of them. It's awesome.
Oh, that sounds cool. You never struck me as like a, I guess I raised you, so yeah, you've got some violence in you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You should see my training partners. I win every spar.
Nice.
When we duel, number 1 every
I
time.
expect no less. I think I would prefer. I think you are 100% capable of helping, but I would prefer if you were not involved in this.
So it's really dangerous.
Yeah, it's.
So I would prefer if you weren't involved in it.
Yeah, but I'm cleaning up a fuck ass. She like looks up at the sky, a fuck ass god's mess.
Okay, I got to roll something for this.
Does Bahamut's like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? I don't understand. This
Why are you
hasn't
talking
happened.
shit about me again?
That's
I
in the
just rolled a
future.
4.
Ooh.
So there's literally a peal of thunder and a lightning bolt strikes the building next to you.
Yeah, Hal doesn't flinch, and she just double flicks him off.
It's a clear day.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so like,
Yeah,
Olivia
she-
looks up. She's like,
She like double flicks off the sky, and then she just like gestures to where the lightning bolt hit. Yeah, a fuck ass god's mess. I'm cleaning
"Who are
up
you
his
pissing
shit.
off right, Mom? Look, I know you have a talent, okay, of just making people angry at you and then having to beat their ass for it. But who did you piss off?
No, I didn't piss anybody off. He pissed me off. Okay.
That looked like some anger there.
Yeah. Well, Bahamut's a little bitch. So
Oh God, have you told Jenny about this?
no, and please don't tell your sister about this, because
You know I have to tell her you just called her God a little bitch.
He's my god too.
Not for much longer. Yeah, I mean, yeah, go ahead. Tell her that after I'm done with this mission, I will no longer be associated with her god.
That's gonna crush Jenny. She was so happy.
I know, and I love her to death, but when you are responsible for cleaning up their fucking mess, it breaks something in you.
Are you sure you're just not like mad now? Because like you get really mad when like
No, I'm sure this is one of those
Like when
times where
when Mo stole those things and you caught him and he was doing little work for the clasp and you got
Yeah.
really, really mad and like you broke every clasp regional guy in the area's
I did.
arms.
I did. You're right. I did that. This is the calm kind of rage where I am clear-headed enough to know that there was a trust that was broken, and I won't allow myself to be subjected to that.
So this was something that was done after you took your oath?
Yeah. It happened a long time ago, but yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm
Okay, well, be careful.
I'll do my best. You know I always do, kid.
Yeah, but you also come home half dead and bloody a lot of times too.
But I always come home.
First time for everything, Mom.
Don't jinx me. And she like reaches over and like knocks on the bench, knock on wood.
She gives you another big hug. Like this
Yeah.
time, like a really squeezy, I may never
Yeah.
see you again hug.
Yeah. And she you know, does
You'll
the whole
definitely
bear
see
hug.
me again. Maybe not
Yeah.
this version of me, but
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay, so
she
I can't talk to anyone about seeing you.
I mean, you
I
can tell
The real reason.
yeah, the real reason
Okay.
got to be between us at least until
All right.
today in a year's time.
All right.
Just be careful, kid.
Always.
Yeah. All right, go have fun on your date. Go.
Yeah, you kind of put a pall over it.
Sorry.
Gosh,
No.
Mom.
I'm fine. I always am. You know, I've got too much to lose to not come back.
See her mumble something under her breath and she walks off.
Yeah. I'll just watches her go, make sure like nobody hassles her as she's leaving, kind of thing.
No, you see, like most of the students, because she's like the top duelist at the school, they give her kind of space. So you're
I
real
love
proud
it.
of her.
You love to see it. And then I'll head back to the Gray Skull.
Okay. Back in the Gray Skull, dinner has been served and has been consumed.
We've been chatting over dinner, you know, about history, nerd stuff, and his exploits.
He's eating it up. I've rolled several insight checks and he hasn't got above a 7.
Okay.
So he
I was gonna
feels there's
say,
no
I'd
deception.
also try to, just in case, you know, he wants to send more than one expedition, you know, mentioning that, you know, planting some of the negative things about the Clockwork Council that we've experienced with. Like, oh yeah, did you hear that they, you know, the 2 members of, because that was a thing that just happened, was the 2 members on the council, that they were Clockwork Council, and, you know, so show that corruption in there, you know, just to talk about all facts, no lies, just there.
You do know I do work with a vampire,
Well,
a
yes.
robot.
Robots are
Modron,
very interesting.
sorry.
We had a friend who was a robot, a clockwork
and-
man. You would
and a
love
warlock,
to meet
so-
them.
I mean, these are all people with differing backgrounds and things. I like.
Oh,
And
Warlock
plus,
of whom, if I may ask?
I don't pry. You can ask yourself.
I would love
It's improper
to.
for an employer to ask those kind of questions.
I just wasn't sure if they'd brought it up, you know. Some people are quite proud of their patrons.
She said it was someone in her family.
Ah.
That's all I know.
Different patron, then. He just kind of mumbles out, different patron.
But they're willing to pay a lot of money to copy the book. So I don't have a problem with that, really. If they just want to copy it, they're going to run their own expedition. I just ask that if they find the bones of my ancestors, to have them delivered to me. And I mean, if they had not offered to pay me that much money, I mean, I put a number out there a long time ago to kind of push people away so I could pick the ones I want
And they
to do.
want to pay it.
So far, I've been a really bad judge of character because nobody's made it. And I'm starting to get really disappointed in my own decision making. So,
Don't be too hard on yourself.
but I mean, what can you tell me more about your qualifications? I mean, he points at Igor. He's a bottomless pit and looks really strong.
He is extraordinarily strong. Very, very good in it. Well, you said there's many dangers. He's very good in the face of danger. He's
Okay.
also performed emergency medical procedures. I'm thinking about the time he just stuck his thumbs into Lamont to stop the bleeding. But, you know... emergency medical procedures from
so
time
he's
to
smarter
time.
than he looks.
Surprisingly, so...
I mean, no disrespect.
I'm very, very small.
You don't look very smart at all.
You know, if with slight
It's,
connections to the
honey.
Feywild.
Oh, really?
Yes. And he's just, before Igor can say anything, he'll just continue on. And we have a member, Howl. She is currently a paladin of Bahamut.
That means
And-
nothing to me, really.
And also, she is the
One god or another, really. I mean,
champion pit fighter of multiple regions. Well,
that Howl.
that Howl.
I'm familiar with that Howl. I heard about the
What?
pits in Port Damali.
She's quite impressive, is she not?
The Wolf of Damali is
Yes.
She's
The Wolf
tough.
of Damali. She's extraordinarily tough.
Wow. Okay, so
She's a member of group.
okay,
we have,
all right.
Myself,
What-
I am also... I'm the history person. I'm also a seeker of deep knowledges on many different subjects, both arcane and, one might say, spiritual as well as intellectual.
Are you a wizard?
Oh
I don't
no,
see your
Harlan's
book or-
the wizard. And
Oh.
Wendell does have a book. That's my favorite part, because he's a tome warlock. He's like, no, I have a benefactor. One might say I have an organization of my... Have you heard of the Prism of Power?
I've seen the pamphlets. Seems more like a scheme of some sort. I don't fall for those kind of things.
No, it'll... It's not a scheme, I can promise you that much.
Oh, you're the one behind it.
I'm...
Well,
in
your
the upper
organizational
echelons.
skills are top notch. I'll give you that.
Thank you, yes.
So what's so special about you, Mr. Harlan? Mr. Wizard? I mean, you're staring at me like you already know what I'm going to say, so I kind of feel a little self-conscious.
Well, I apologize for that. I forget I do that sometimes. I am adept at telling upcoming events.
Oh, you specialize in divination.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Wow, this is a really well-rounded group.
We also have one additional member whom... It's rare to catch sights and occurrences of him. God, he's gonna pull out the stupid name. The one that strikes terror in the dark. He who strikes... What is it?
Okay, then, what is he, like?
Vigilante.
Is a vigilante?
Bit of a vigilante. But...
That's one, yes.
top-notch artificer actually came here from a different world. He's not native to this plane.
Oh, he's like slumming as like a sneaky person or something?
That's exactly it.
Wow. Okay. And that's your group.
That's our group. Yes. You know, you've seen those what were the mechanical people called? We met that one who had a name and he was delightful. Had a name, not just mechanical.
Automaton?
guys. The automatons. Is that what they were just automatons?
I
I thought they had like a different name, but I guess the automatons. Yes,
yeah.
he's wonderful at automatons and just figuring out. We had this one, and I'll tell him the tale of the orb where everyone got sucked into that pocket dimension.
The
yeah.
nimble right.
The nimble rights. We disassembled and reassembled the nimble right.
Oh.
And then I'll tell him about the orb things with we all got sucked into that little dimension, that hole. Wendell didn't go, but he heard the tales, and that was a weird device that no one knew what it did. So we're a bit familiar at working with unknown technologies and mysterious, arcane, and mechanical mysteries.
You're good at getting into and out of situations.
Excellent. Excellent. I'm feeling really confident about all of this. Now, I feel like I could let you copy my book, this ledger, so that you'd have the record.
That would be incredibly useful.
Do
Especially
you
if
know
we had to
how
find
you're
your
going to
ancestors.
like, if I were to give you this opportunity, do you know how you're gonna how are you going to approach it? Are you going to get a big caravan and head towards the Ash Keepers? Are you going to?
We have an airship.
Well, why didn't you open with that?
Well, you know.
It kind of skips a whole bunch of the problems there. I mean, how do you have your own airship? Those things are
I just gesture at
they're
Harlan.
owned by the guild.
Not all of them.
I don't like to brag, but I built it myself.
And it works?
Wait,
It doesn't run on crystals.
Of course it works. Why wouldn't it?
To many points and times.
How do you get the crystals?
Oh, it doesn't use those crystals.
How does it fly? If you don't mind me asking.
It's very complicated, but I could go through it with you.
The basics, perhaps. In a year.
Another time.
I could go through it with you once you see the ship.
Oh.
No,
assume-
we're just gonna take him with us.
That
that'd
would
be
be
funny.
interesting.
Yeah.
Harlan wants to suggest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, pretty much. Okay. He wants to pretty much say that the reason maybe his past expedition has failed is he hasn't gone himself.
Ooh.
Happy to take him with.
No. Now I told you about the portable hole and the bag of holding thing. Not to mention the amount of money we lost that was in the bag of holding when it went in the portable hole. Look, the sound itself still keeps me up at night. I wake up like cold sweats sometimes. I see like someone has a bag of holding and I run the other way. You know how hard it is to carry things like I do where I can't use dimensional storage? I mean, come on.
It does seem quite difficult.
It is. It's very difficult. And it's something I've learned to live with because I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm not as young as I used to be. You know, I'm getting upwards of 200 now. So I'm not going to be able to. I appreciate that. But I think that I just need to pick an organization like yourselves and like the council. I think if I send both you guys at it, I think someone will be successful. I mean, you guys sound great. Look, how about this? I'll give you my book to study. You'll have a couple days before I have my meetings. You can copy it all you want. But I will need to have one of my associates stay with you to keep an eye on the book.
Of course.
And if you want, they can travel with you.
How fun.
Be wonderful, yes.
I mean, any you could pick whichever one of the associates you want.
I want to take the vampire, but that's just
Gearbox is really, really good with directions and identifying mechanical objects and equipment. He might be really helpful for some of the things that you're doing. Mary's just like, she is even down the road, doesn't get really upset about anything, is pretty good. You could really depend on her. Her connections with her patron kind of give her some insights into things. She's and she likes making she's a potion maker, she's an alchemist, and so she loves finding strange and rare things. So she's just along for the ride for the most part. Garrett's a bard, so if you think you're gonna have an exciting time, he'll make a song about it. He draws maps too. He's my apprentice, really. I don't think he's ever going to do anything with it, but I mean, the best I can find right now. He's also really good at telling how, like, what's the best way? He can identify true or false rumors pretty easily. He's really good at figuring out how things go, especially in the Ashkeeper Mountains. He's from that area, and so he's really good at identifying what's going on there. And then Centimir, I don't know. I mean, he's got some benefits, but he's always trying to get around and about. He's trying to take advantage of things. I don't know. The machine he's in is really helpful. It can do things, go places, but I really just keep him around for entertainment value, because some of the curses he uses. Did I tell you he's a dwarven vampire, which is even better. They've got the dwarves have the best curses, and now he's a vampire stuck in a box. Oh, sailors blush when he's around. If you pick one, and he'll stay with you while you have the book or the journal, and if you want, they can go with you.
Sounds delightful.
About this time, Hal comes in, or Hal gets to the Grayskull Shadow Inn. You go in the private dining area. Okay, Roger Roger is behind the bar, and he's like, "Hey, I didn't know you were in town.
Hey, Roger.
You look busy. Want some milk?
No.
I'll spike it.
Nah, I think it's more of just an ale kind of night.
That's still, you want me to upgrade you to the good stuff?
Nah, give me the shit.
Man, one of these days, I am going to break you of these bad habits. You understand that?
One of these days. Just not today.
I don't know how Nezrin does it. And he turns around and gets you taps your
fair.
keg and gets you your ale. Everybody's still in there. They got some little gnome guy in the room in there. Reagan seemed all uppity about it all. You know how he gets sometimes.
Yeah. All right. I'll wait till he gives me my drink, and then...
Oh, he's already handing it to you.
Yeah, and then I'll tip him like she always does, and she'll go in. She doesn't knock. She just kind of very violently opens the door. It slams as she's like...
Our cartographer nearly fall out of his boots.
Yeah,
there she
she's
is
got
now.
like her tankard just like it's already half gone as she slams the door open and walks in and like plops down in her chair. Doesn't acknowledge anybody. Just no manners whatsoever.
Is this the Wolf of Damali? Do I have the pleasure of meeting the Wolf of Damali?
She just I still choke just just kind of grunts.
And Wendell nods.
Well, he backs away and stands on the ground. He's a little over 3 feet tall, and he bows. I'm the cartographer. It is a pleasure to meet you. I've heard about some of your fights, and it's wonderful to actually meet you, to know that you're part of this organization.
She finishes her shit ale and just kind of plops it down on the table. And who the fuck are you?
I am Anaxis Zephyrius, the cartographer. I am negotiating with your lovely organization group to support your expedition to Krolanthri.
Oh, yeah.
He's quite helpful.
It's like, you just see, you're not supposed to meet your heroes kind of thing. You just see
Yeah.
dying inside a little bit. And he's like, he crawls back up in his seat. So
I just pass a plate of food to Hal, because I'm sure there's plenty of food on the table still.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's emptier towards Igor's side.
Yeah. Or I just, you know what? I imagine it's kind of like you pick up what you want from the stations in the center. So I just pass her an empty plate, just with the
and
silver
despite Hal's atrocious manners entering, all the years she has spent with Nezrin has ingrained like her food table manners.
Uh-huh.
So she's just like prim and proper, grabbing her food, starts eating, kind of like it's a total 180 from like how like her normal demeanor.
Yeah.
You see the cartographer kind of giving you a little side eye, like, what is going on? She is a stranger. Okay.
And Wendell just gives a nod, like just. Yeah.
Do you have a preference in which one of my assistants will assist you with the journal?
Oh goodness, they all sound quite fascinating. Out of character, I just can't stop thinking about the vampire in the box, but that's just to be expected from me.
I imagine his entire like conversation, like, give me the fuck out the box.
Yeah.
I'm thirsty. Just give me something.
Well, what does a dwarven vampire drink anyway? It just be really funny. I just love it, but we shouldn't take him. But I think he's hilarious. I'm thinking Garrett, the local map cartographer, as nice as the potion maker. Yeah, the bard. Because having played bards, I know that they're like the best, and that they're just so versatile and amazing. And also having made even 3. Spells crossing over of different genres bards, they're still incredibly fucking useful, even if they think their spell list might be limited, So, cause, I don't know, I just see a clash of the patrons happening a little bit if we take the alchemist, warlock.
You don't know.
I don't know. I'm leaning towards Garrett, the pink tiefling, who draws maps.
Okay.
And is a local, might help us with speed, and if it's a weird turny roundy twisty place, he might be able to map it as we go. We might be more efficient and faster.
Okay.
Also leaning towards Garrett. I think that Harlan would probably want to choose the Moldron, but
yeah, the Modron could be really fun and helpful.
You are going. I'll just point this out. Qualanthri is supposedly, as far as you can tell from what's being told to you, the lost laboratory of a great tinkerer and creator of things.
Yeah. Lamont's not an artificer anymore, is he?
Nope.
Yeah, that was because I was like, we had that covered. Yeah, I'd say Garrett or or Gearbox.
Okay. Gearbox, yes.
Gearbox.
Are any of these companions with the cartographer at this moment?
No,
not at the moment.
Oh,
they're busy.
Okay.
Reagan has met all 4 of them.
I think if they're not here, Hal doesn't give a shit.
Okay. Igor, do you have a comment?
I mean, no, not really.
Your only comment is, do you want
whoever you want to take? So
okay. All right.
Igor has no preference in this matter.
Okay, so we'll let you guys stew on that particular decision until
at least we have it
week.
narrowed down to 2.
That's true, but it'll give you time to think. We'll go ahead and close out the session
I
tonight.
do have a question though, Wendell. Yes. Because we've buttered this guy up pretty nicely, and
he's pretty happy with you guys.
Can we? I mean, we can't dissuade him from meeting with the Clockwork Council entirely, but can we persuade him to delay his meeting with them to give us a head start?
Well, I will remind you that the idea is you guys are going to go back in time, so you'll be about 800 years ahead of them.
Yes.
I don't know if you need much more of a head start.
but Wendell doesn't know we're going to go back in time. He's like, oh yes, we go a year in the past.
I think Harlan would have. Yeah, I think Harlan gave you that part of the plan.
Did he? Yeah. Okay, I thought the plan was just a year back to stop the machine.
A year back to get the information, to get the journal, so you know where to go, and then to do the next jump.
Gotcha, and then do the next jump. Oh gosh, well if that's the case, all the machinery will be working. I say we take the bar and have it write a fucking epic story. But we'll think about it. Thinking. We'll think about it for a week. But yeah, I think he'd still do it just to be like, maybe just to, because also he loves to push the clockwork.
Okay,
like,
well, you'll finish that conversation up and pick your companion next week when we return.
I want to just ask him to not mention the airship. It's proprietary technology, you know.
I'm sure you
Keep it all
can
down,
persuade
We
him
can sign an NDA.
of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted to make that clear now before
Yeah.
you know.
In case we forget.
That's fine. That
Yeah.
is perfectly fine. And so let's go around and talk to everyone about tonight's episode as we close out the session. We're going to start with our resident gastronomic engineer, Igor. How was eating this evening?
Gastronomic, yeah, I like that. That's probably a good technical term for Igor. He enjoyed the food. He wanted to ask more questions about time travel and doubles and how does this all work? How does it exist? But frankly, I'm getting exhausted trying to think like Igor and how he'd think about that. So it's all good. I'm glad we ended where we ended. So yeah, favorite parts was probably Howl's nonchalance getting at the bar, her crappy drinks that she gets, just walking in straight up and talking to her daughter. That was fun to listen to. And I liked everybody trying to explain stuff to Igor. That was fun. I enjoyed that part. Try to put 6 for Twitch, Twitter. Be here Mondays, Tuesdays, and Aliens game. So, anyways, thanks everybody.
All right. Thank you. Let's go over to Harlan Flipcoat next. Yeah, you had to talk about your ship. You won an NDA. How's that going?
Hopefully it continues to go well. We'll see. It seems a lot of people are finding out things they shouldn't be finding out right now. Hal's progeny there. Anyways, let's see. My favorite parts. Shoot. I did like the conversation that Hal had with her daughter there, and I liked also just the descriptions of the companion characters.
Yes.
They seem very funny, and I'm excited to get to at least meet one more in depth. Yes, I'm D20 Coup de Grace. You can find me here Monday, Tuesdays, and sometimes in our Aliens game. Thanks.
Thank you. Over to Hal. How was that for you this evening?
That was a blast. I'm Nugatosaurus. I play Hal, the shifter fighter / paladin. You can find me here on Mondays and Tuesdays playing our various D&D games, as well as the occasional Saturday when we play Aliens. My favorite part was Harlan being like, I was nowhere near the Iron Authority when my brother was assassinated, because we all know that's definitely not true.
Sometimes you have to kill the ones you love.
Exactly. We have
It's a theme.
You know, conflicting reports here, you know. I need to know more about Harlan's backstory. I need us to go visit the Iron Authority so we can see what the fuck is going on. I need it in my life. And yeah, I'm very excited for next week to figure out what the fuck is going on in this book and do some more time jumping that Hal's gonna hate. And yeah, it'll be a fun time.
It'll be an angry, fun time.
Yep.
Before I pass it over to Wendell, Eustace Abernethy, Lucius Throckwaddle, Hassenpfeffer IV of the Habstrom Hassenpfeffers, I'll go ahead and close out myself. I'm Deception Check. I'm the DM of the game. I'm the one trying to figure out how to wrangle these people in a direction that might actually be entertaining for some of us. For most of us, and how I can feed Igor more food. That's pretty much my entire plan each session. Give Igor food.
It's a good background.
You can find me here on Mondays, Tuesdays, and occasionally on Saturdays. And a new project we'll be announcing sometime soon as I can get off my butt and get it finished. Okay. Favorite part tonight, I really had a lot of fun doing the roleplay with Hal and Olivia. That was a lot of fun. I liked how Wendell was trying to just finagle this poor gnome the entire time. I kept rolling insights, and he could not get above like a 5 or 6 or 7.
I would have rolled deception. I'm not proficient in deception, actually.
I know,
but I'm very
but
charismatic.
I was going to keep rolling until he actually had I gave him a couple certain points where he might think something's weird, and if you rolled well enough, I was going to ask for a roll, and that would be your DC. But
yeah,
no. Nah, it didn't work out.
My base roll is a 6 on that one, so yeah.
I liked how Igor wanted to be, still wanted to be. He had having a hard time with time, but also having a really hard time not working. Like, just can't sit down and eat. He has to do his job, and I love that about Igor.
Same.
And then
ingrained into him for years.
And Harlan's potato. Where the hell did that come from?
This is not the first time Harlan's eaten raw potatoes.
This is not the first time.
I just don't remember it. It catches me off guard every single time, and that's wonderful. But let's pass it on to the scion of our channel with one more disclaimer before we do. We are not associated with Critical Role in any way.
No.
We just play in their world.
Yeah.
Laugh of Lindy.
It's fun. There's a couple source books, so yay. That's me. Oh gosh, my favorite moments. Igor is great. I love it when he asks questions that makes me stop and think. Side tangent. I used to be at least a half dozen to dozen children's favorite daycare teacher. So it makes me go, how would I have explained this to the 16 months to 4-year-olds at the daycare I used to work at? And that's how I try to explain things to Igor sometimes. And it's a refreshing challenge because it's like, how do I simplify this but still have it make sense? And it's neat. I think more people should try to explain things simply, just for the challenge of it. But also, bless him. Where's the second Reagan? That comment caught me off guard, and I just love it. Reagan 2. Oh, bless him. Harlan just being like, just eating potatoes. Again, I love it whenever Harlan's like, raw potatoes, and then Hal just putting everyone on edge, giving so few fucks, and Olivia being really freaking excited about time travel, being a divination wizard in training. Someone looked up to Harlan a little bit, maybe. And I really want us to have a side scene next week, because I don't know why, I just keep picturing this the whole episode of the guy sent to grave rob Lamont, but he gets there and Lamont is robbing his own grave already. Like, he just sees Lamont pulling Lamont out of a grave and is like, hold up, wait a second. And I kind of hope that's what happens.
Lamontception?
Yes, I kind of hope that he runs into Lamont, digging Lamont out of the grave, and then coming to life. That would be amazing.
It'd be
But
amazing.
we'll see what he does, because I don't know what Lamont does. No one knows what Lamont's going to do. He's a wild card. But you can find me loving playing games with these people all over the place. Mostly just here, really, and on Monday and Tuesday nights. But tomorrow night we will be back. Not with Mists of Ravenloft, or at least not the official Mists of Ravenloft. We will be playing a special one-shot of something. We'll see whatever it is that I put together between now and tomorrow night. But it's gonna be fun, and possibly using the Ryutama system. So definitely come out tomorrow night, check it out. Same Bat Lindy time, same Lindy Bat channel. Until next week, have fun, play games. We'll catch you guys later.